And welcome to Darcy Street for today's clash between South Hobart and Olympia FC Warriors in the under-18 pre-season final. For South Hobart, looking at the lineups, we've got number 1, Michael Hurd, number 2, Nelson Kwan, number 4, Casper Hallam, number 7, Noah Gardner, number 5, Henry Hurd, number 6, Ben Tilley, number 8, Jacob King, number 11, Julian Ashby, number 10, Will Richardson, number 14, Jake Mazzone, number 19, Declan Taylor, and on the bench, number 16, Elliot Salter, number 17, Hogo Chong, and number 18, Pawat Dangdej. And for Olympia under-18, we've got number 1, James Ross, number 2, Alex Tweed, 3, Jack Duffy, 4, Kobe Mostagianis, number 5, Sam Bosco, number 7, Sam Cummins, number 8, Alex Exarakos, number 6, Ashton Pacey Main, number 9, Evan Beach Arnold, number 10, Austin Yost, number 11, Keon Pavlidis, and on the bench we have number 12, Cody Prendergast, 13, Jonas Rutherford, 14, Marcus Hastill, and 16, Jack Casbolt.
And up here on the camera, Martin Duffy joining you. Dan, thanks for coming along today, mate.
Not a problem at all. Welcome, Duff.
Yeah, looking forward to the big clash, and thanks to the teams for getting us up here to Darcy Street for the big grand final. Boys would be a little bit nervous, would they?
Yeah, always nervous when you turn out for a game, I think, but being the pre-season final, it always adds something to the mix. And I think South Hobart will be a bit nervous about facing Olympia. Olympia will be a bit nervous about facing South Hobart. They're two tricky sides to come up against, especially when you're visiting South Hobart at Darcy Street. They're always a tough side.
The big powerhouses, aren't they, of the
Absolutely,
local
big powerhouse regardless of the league, of the level. Both sides have fantastic juniors, and we're about to see the best of the best. South Hobart applying the early pressure from the kickoff, and they've managed to make something of it. Olympia found themselves under the pump. It's an Olympia throw, taken by Sam Bosco, up the line. The flick on was intended for Keon Pavlidis. It's won back by Beach Arnold. Well defended by Ashby for South Hobart. The ball's squared. Austin Yost couldn't quite get there ahead of Hurd. But it's an action-packed start here at Darcy Street. Olympia was shaky to begin with, but they've managed to make the first chance in a matter of seconds. Pavlidis again, squares across the box, but well cleared. Ball's turned inside, a sweeping ball out to left back Alex Tween. Finds Yost in the middle, runs out of options. And they choose to start again through Mostagianis, who sends the ball wide, looking for Keon Pavlidis again, but he watches the ball run out of play for a South Hobart throw. Many of these players will recognise each other from last year's statewide cup final in the under-20s as well, where it was Olympia meeting South Hobart. Olympia came out on top there, but with the age limitations, we've seen a lot of players move up to the Challenge League, so a couple of new faces have come and joined the under-18 side, as we've got Austin Yost in the middle for Olympia. He runs out of options up front and chooses to come back. The ball is spread wide to Pavlidis, who comes back again to Bosco, and they recycle it through the midfield. Clever back heel finds a teammate there, and again it's Beach Arnold. Pavlidis gets his delivery, but it's well cleared. Corner. Only a couple of minutes in so far, but we can see Olympia heavily favouring this right-hand side. Pavlidis and Beach Arnold have linked up a couple of times, and they're looking pretty threatening in the early stages. Olympia lining up deep from the corner. And they don't manage to make anything of it as it falls for an Olympia throw. It's going to be Tween to take. It's an early throw back into the middle, but well cleared by South Hobart. And it's Duffy with the throw this time. Looks for Austin Yost, who's fouled. Gives Olympia good position here if they can get a ball into the box. And Yost won the foul. It's going to be Yost who takes it.
He's a real gun player, Yost.
Absolutely. He seems to dictate the middle for Olympia.
Got a big presence about him.
Absolutely,
strong lad.
He does. He moves the ball well too. Big, strong lad, but he's got good feet. Well, he doesn't end up too far away from the free kick. I don't think it's where he intended it to go, but he's had Michael Hurd in South Hobart goals a bit nervous there, as we see it flash past the post into the side netting. South Hobart play the short ball out from goal, recycle it across to the right-hand side. And it's a misplaced pass for the Olympia throw. Since applying the pressure from the kickoff, I don't think South Hobart have seen their attacking half again just yet. This might be their first opportunity here as they move the ball through the midfield. Noah Gardner picks it up on the wing, looks to break into the attacking half. There we go. But it's quickly cleared. And again, it's Pavlidis who looks to break down the line, but he's unable to get his touch under control.
Of course, young Pavlidis is a 100-metre runner specialist. Been doing a lot of training up the domain.
It doesn't surprise me. You look at the wheels he's got on him when he breaks down this line. He's impressive. He's hard to catch.
Yeah, I think young Gardner coming into this match would be very nervous about playing on Pavlidis.
Absolutely.
Runs something like 11.2 in the 100 metres. That's quick, Dan.
He'll use every bit of that in today's game as well. We can see already as it's Casper Hallam breaking down the line for South Hobart, but he's unable to get the ball across the box. Here we take our first look at James Ross in the goals for Olympia. He's a renowned shot stopper. Across the
looking very dapper.
Yes, absolutely, always does. He's got a tidy haircut on him.
Spends a lot of time in the bathroom before he comes out, plays his game of football on a Saturday.
All the good players do. So South Hobart now starting to move the ball well, but it falls to nothing. Again, Olympia doing a brilliant job of pinning them back into their defensive half. Throw-in comes back to Mosajanis, who looks to spread the play. Gets lucky there. It only just gets by Will Richardson. Here's Yost again. Looks to make something here as we see our stab shot. It falls through. Oh, straight down the line of the goalkeeper. Beach Arnold just unable to find either side of the keeper there. Another half a metre to the left or the right, and that's a goal for sure. You can see here he's got plenty of time to think about it, but just doesn't manage to find a corner. And then it's calmly cleared by Ashby for South Hobart. Good delivery into the box, but it's a little bit too deep. There's not quite anybody there to meet it. And it's going to be a South Hobart throw. They'll be looking to calm the game down here. They've been under the pump in this first 6.5 minutes. It's a tidy turn there by Richardson, but he is unable to take the ball any further up the line. Well defended.
What do you think of seeing South in the black?
I don't mind South Hobart's kit. They've got a very nice home and away kit, so it's a bit funny to see them wearing the black at Darcy Street. Doesn't happen too often, but it's all right. It's welcome in my eyes. Ross gives Mosajanis something to work with there, but he does quite well. And now it's South Hobart utilising their goalkeeper. And we'll see the ball at the feet of Hurd for the first time. Manages to keep the ball in as he looks to spread it up the line. It's Ashby looking to make the run, but he can't quite get onto the end of it. And as much as we're seeing Olympia attack down their right-hand side, South Hobart's doing all of theirs down the left in the early stages. Darcy Street does tend to have a bit of a dead corner on that far side, so both sides looking to avoid that as best they can.
Come on, Olympia, keep at it.
Some tidy touches on the edge of the box. And we've got our first chance here. But James Ross rises to the occasion. Richardson's unable to get the better of him. South Hobart have finally strung some passes together and they've got their first real chance of the game away, but James Ross rose to the occasion and got a good hand. He's going to have to do the same from this corner though, as the ball is delivered. They met the head of Casper Hallam, but he's unable to turn it goalward. South Hobart have another chance on the edge of the 18-yard box. You can see there they're just crowded out by Olympia. They managed to keep the ball as they break, and it's a great delivery here as it falls for Pavlidis again. He's entered the 18-yard box and he gets his shot away, but it's just wide of the post. He's in the mood for goals today. There's been a couple of times, we're only 10 minutes in, but there's been a couple of times already where you could have said that Pavlidis has had chances.
Look at the pace.
He's a quick kid. He's absolutely burned Ashby, who he did well to keep up with him, but it was a long chase. I just don't think he had the legs in the end.
Not sure where he gets this pace from, whether it's his mum Siobhan or dad Steve. I'm tipping Siobhan.
Yeah. And South Hobart again taking their time on the throw-in, looking to slow the game down a little bit. The quicker pace definitely suits Olympia at the early stages of this game. And again, it's Yost with some tidy turns. He looks for the foul, but referee says no. Attempted pass cleaned up by Captain Jack Duffy at the back for Olympia. And it's Yost again with the tidy footwork. He manages to get on the end of his own through ball, but it looks to fall to nothing. Well defended there by South Hobart. And again, South Hobart opt to go short. Yost picks up the ball in the midfield from a sloppy pass, so he looks to spread it wide. It's an attempted ball through from Pavlidis. He gets on the end of it, but just puts it wide again. Both sides with some early chances here to go ahead, but neither able to make the most of it. It was a great ball in here from Yost, and then this little touch from Pavlidis is perfectly weighted. And it's Exarakos who gets on the end of it, but he's unable to turn it goalward. A sloppy pass out of the back from South Hobart, and here goes Pavlidis again, who turns it inside to Yost. The link-up play between these two have been fantastic early doors. South Hobart will be looking to close that down if they're going to have a chance here, as it's Yost again who finds himself on the ball in a great position to cross. Can he get there on the byline? He does, but it's well saved by South Hobart goalkeeper for a corner. Hurd has been put under the pressure early on, but he hasn't been beaten as of yet. There's been a couple of chances where you could have expected him to concede, but he's risen to the occasion absolutely. Lost ball. Happens a lot here at Darcy Street. The basketball courts claim a few, and I reckon a couple of the households do as well. It's a looping delivery. Manages to find the head of Duffy, but he can't turn it goalward. Not quite enough power on it, and it's an attempted effort from a long way out there, but it goes sailing over the bar. It's a very picturesque ground, Darcy Street. Just behind the camera there, out of frame, you can see Mount Wellington when you're on the ground. South Hobart crowding out Olympia in the midfield. They've been good at that so far. They've been without the ball for a lot of this first half, but they managed to get the players around it to win it back. And there's a spread ball out wide. It's Hallam looking to get on the end of it, and he does, but it's well defended by Duffy, who can't help but turn it behind for a corner. And you can see, looking at the corner flag there as well, it's quite windy here at Darcy Street. And it's another looped effort. No one's able to get on the end of it here, and it's Olympia who look to come away with it, but it's a brilliant job there by South Hobart, who have managed to maintain possession. They look to deliver into the box through Richardson, but his pass isn't able to find a teammate. And then it's very clean feet from Pavlidis, but he's unable to find anybody as well. And here comes Hallam again. He's definitely been the early threat for South Hobart, Hallam, but can't quite make anything of it. Olympia have a second chance to break up the right-hand side again with Pavlidis. You can see how deep he drops to pick up the ball. But when you've got speed like he does, it doesn't matter. It's a good wide delivery. Again, crowded out. Plays a brilliant ball through. And James Ross is beaten. What's he got in the middle? Can he find a teammate? James Ross gets back and hits the post. He had all the time in the world, Casper Hallam. He beat the keeper. But Olympia just did enough to line the players up along the goal line. James Ross found himself back in position. And again, it's Hallam who's got the opportunity for Southern. You can see there, he wasn't looking for goal. He was looking to square it up to a teammate. But with no other option, he's had to take the shot on, and a little bit too late. You have to say, with an empty net beckoning, that's probably the best chance of the game so far. Falls South Hobart's way. There's possibly a chance here for Olympia, but unable to get on the end of it. Is Beach Arnold. Yost again in the middle, picks up the ball for Olympia. He does just enough to get past his man, and he turns inside as well. He's still on the ball, and there's the feet that we were talking about. He attempts a back post effort, but it sails over the bar as well. Here we see another look at the clean touch, and then he turns inside and beats the second man as well. And then a bit of a rush of blood sends the ball over the bar. And now it's South Hobart in control of the ball. As possession gets lost in the midfield, turned over to Olympia, who pick it up and look to break, but unable to make anything of it. Hurd with the ball at his feet, turns it out to Ashby. Ashby looks down the line, it's a loose ball into midfield. We've seen a couple of those so far, and it's Beach Arnold in possession, turns it out to Pavlidis, who looks inside and finds Exarakos, who tries to spread the play, but unable to get it across. Ooh, bit of a collision on the far side here, but referee says nothing. It's a cheeky nutmeg, but it's well defended. He wins it back though. Beach Arnold has managed to get himself a throw in, you could say, out of nothing. As Bosco comes up high on the line to take. It was well won by Beach Arnold. He definitely didn't have anything else on, so to keep possession there is all you could ask of him. Pavlidis delivers across the box, well defended. But it's still with Olympia as the long shot is taken on by Pacey Main, but comes to nothing. 17 minutes into the half, we've had a couple of great chances for both sides, but we're still yet to see a goal. As we see that man Casper Hallam for South Hobart has been their best attacking option to this point. And we see Austin Yost in the midfield, who this time loses out. Unlucky there by Gardner for South Hobart, unable to keep possession. Ball's turned inside. And we see the ball spread out wide to Sam Cummins for Olympia, who looks inside, takes the shot on instead. But Hurd was comfortable at the near post in the end. And here we see the chance again. He just flashed his shot too narrow there. He could have looked for the back post, but Hurd was in a great position there to cut out either option. Beach Arnold comes inside. Casey Main spreads to left back Alex Tween, who looks to deliver an early ball into Yost, but again, well defended by South Hobart, who managed to clear and keep possession in the midfield and then promptly give away a foul. South Hobart are working their way back into this game though. And there it is, clear foul. He's got some studs for his effort though.
Get in there, Ash. Ash, move.
Mostagiannis looks to deliver a ball from deep, and he just about does. Oh, onto the bar, and then the follow-up's over the bar as well. Brilliant ball from Mostagiannis from the free kick. South Hobart looked beaten from the start. They didn't have anybody near the delivery, but we can see here it rattles the crossbar. Here's the initial effort from centre-back Jack Duffy onto the bar, and then it's over by Exarakos in the follow-up as well. Two more fantastic chances for Olympia go begging.
Bit of an arm wrestle, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very open game. But neither side's able to break the deadlock. They're just doing enough to keep each other at bay. He's done well to keep the ball there and cleverly turns back inside to maintain.
Go, go, go.
Beach Arnold's managed to keep possession and looks to attack the South Hobart defence with no other options, but gets crowded out. They give the ball away though, which has been a bit of a theme so far, and then Hurd's tested with a bouncing ball into his feet, but he does well to control. And now it's South Hobart on the attack. Unlucky not to get his touch under control there, Julian Ashby. And Bosco looks to launch the attack with a throw. Possession given away in midfield by Pacey Main, but quickly won back by Duffy. And here's Yost on the ball. We've seen his early threat already, and here he is again through on goal. It's the post again! And the follow-up is quickly slotted. He looks around for the offside, nothing's given, and it's a goal for Olympia. We see the away team 1-0 up. It is Evan Beach Arnold with the goal. After some fantastic work initially by Jack Duffy to win the ball back. But we can see here it's Austin Yost who takes control in the midfield. He breaks through three oncoming attackers. His poked effort rattles the post, and then it's Beach Arnold who's the first to react as he promptly slots the ball away. Coming back to live play now, we've got Olympia straight back on the attack through Pavlidis. He looks to weave past one, then two. Can't maintain possession though, as it's well defended. And a calm ball down the line as South Hobart look to break. Olympia again looking to run through the midfield, but the pass comes to nothing. Hurd's able to pick up. Ben Tilley at the back for South Hobart. We've seen him a couple of times now, and he's been a bit of a rock for them so far. Anytime Olympia look to break, he's always the man looking to wear it down. We've only had the one breakthrough so far in a game that could easily have had 3 or 4 goals already, so I think both centre-back partnerships have a lot to be thankful for.
Come on, Olympia!
Ball spread wide. You can see a foot race developing here between Hallam and Duffy, but Duffy manages to win this one. You can see the long legs of Jack Duffy. Definitely had the height advantage on Hallam, but I think if there was another 10 yards on the end of that field, Hallam would have got to him. Mostajanis looks to spread the play again with a great ball down the line. Has managed to spill too. Out comes Hurd, who cleans up possession and gets a little clip for his effort. But it is an Olympia throw. And it's Yost who picks it up in the midfield. Another few deft touches takes him by the initial 2, but it's the third who picks it off. And a great defensive effort from Henry Hurd. Gives Olympia another throw on the left-hand side. And we look to introduce our first substitute for the day. And we can see for Olympia, we've got number 13, Jonas Rutherford. Coming on for, I think, number 7, I want to say Sam Cummins, but we'll confirm that later on. In comes the ball. But again, cleared by South Hobart, who look to break down the left. It's fallen nicely, but Bosco's the first one in, and he does well to see it out, but it's a South Hobart throw. Ashby restarts through Tilley with a good ball down the middle, but it's Mostajanis who gets there first. And Tilley again picks up possession. But it's promptly given away as the ball over the top looks for Beach Arnold, but it's unable to come to anything as Tilley will look to see it out, but the ball doesn't quite have the legs on it. And a tangle of legs ends up in what I think will be a goal kick. Or perhaps a corner. And the corner comes short to Exarakos, who loops it into the back post, and it's Beach Arnold who finds the back of the net for the second time today, but it's ruled off for offside. It was a great delivery here. We can see another look at it here. Oh, and it must have been close because Ashby's only just coming off the front post there. It was a great header in the end. But offside is the call. Score remains 1-0. And the header's well won, but it ends up going backwards. Picked up by Yost. Ball comes inside to Exarakos, who looks to break. Finds Beach Arnold, who looks to feed the ball back. He gets a second chance at it though. And it's brought a save out of Michael Hurd. Not for the first time today. An interesting battle unravelling between Michael Hurd and Evan Beach Arnold, the striker and goalkeeper. You can see his initial attempt at that through ball, which would have been a fantastic opportunity if not for the legs of Ben Tilley getting the touch on it. And it's another corner. In it comes. It's a header again, this time from Jack Duffy, but it's taken a timely deflection and gathered by Michael Hurd, who looks to break South Hobart through a deep Casper Hallam, who comes back to pick up the ball. Well defended by Sam Bosco. Ball over the top, and it's Hallam again. It's a foot race. He looks to get the shot away, but it's wide. And you can see James Ross tells Bosco there, just get it away. If it happens again, just get it away. I think he was calling the goalkeeper to come and claim that one. But Hallam was clever. He got in there first, but couldn't steer his shot goalward. He's confident today. You can see by the way he's playing, Casper Hallam, that he wants the goal. He's had a couple of sniffs at it by now, but nothing as of yet for him or his teammates, as Olympia are still 1-0 up. As we get closer to the half-an-hour mark. Fancy footwork from the linesman. Nelson Kwan comes back to Michael Hurd in goals, who looks to bring it back out the other side through the feet of Ben Tilley. He's put under pressure, but it's a very calm ball back into the midfield. As he spreads the ball up to Hallam again, and here he goes breaking down the line, but it's a good foot by Mosajanis, who has managed to be kept in by James Ross, and it's Hallam again who looks to deliver the ball inwards, and he does. And the follow-up is put away by South Hobart. It was a great initial foot in by Mosajanis, and then in order to avoid the corner, James Ross has kept the ball in play, which ended up working in favour of South Hobart. We can see here, he's managed to keep the ball in, but it was picked up by Hallam again, who keeps a cool head in delivering a great ball into the box. The initial effort from Will Richardson is saved, and then it's put away by, I believe, Jacob King for the goal. And all of a sudden it's 1-1, with South Hobart finding their way back into this game in both possession and with the goal. Here goes Beach Arnold on the right. Doesn't have many options. It's him v3. But he manages to find his teammate inside through Alex Exarakos, who runs out of real estate. South Hobart have looked to play it short from every goal kick so far, and here they go again as they play it out to Nelson Kwan on the right-hand side. But Olympia are obviously happy for them to do it because they're not applying too much pressure early on. And this is potentially why, as they pick up the ball again, but it's miscontrolled, and Richardson finds himself offside.
Come on, Olympia, man up. Have a look at your loose players.
Lots of experts in the grandstand behind us.
One of the voices there is South Hobart's senior coach, Ken Morton. So the South Hobart under-18s players have been blessed by his presence. I think it's not unusual for him to go and visit the lower leagues, but when he talks, I think they listen. And it's Hallam again who looks to break, but he's closed out, but he keeps possession. That's fantastic work. He finds his man in the midfield, but it's well cleared. And now it's Olympia on the attack. Again through Yost, who spreads play to Exarakos, who looks to turn out again to right back Sam Bosco, who delivers a good ball into the feet of Beach Arnold, and Pavlidis is in behind. He sends a good ball into the middle, but it's just in front of his teammates. The ball's still with Olympia. It's Yost with the option, but it's blocked. Yost still on the ball. And I think he's won himself a throw-in. Haven't heard the name of Pavlidis for a while, so he's got himself back into the game there. It was a good ball into Sam Cummins, but as he picks out Yost here, you can see it's well blocked. And South Hobart now just look to get the ball out of the danger area, but they can't maintain possession. It's picked up again. And then there's that same ball through again to Casper Hallam. This time James Ross is on top of it, and it's a very calm ball out to his left back to maintain possession. As now Beach Arnold is through on goal. It's a poked effort that looks to be rolling wide. And that's all started from James Ross, who was very calm in maintaining the ball. Often you see goalkeepers come out and just clear those chances, but he's managed to find a player and the chances come from it. But it has been pulled back, I believe, for offside off Beach Arnold. So South Hobart free kick. Again, they come short. It's Tilly on the ball, who spreads play, unable to find a teammate. It's Mostajanis who picks up, and his ball sends it straight back to where it came from. He does manage to find a teammate though in Beach Arnold, who looks to feed it through to Pavlidis. Ben Tilly cleans up. And we're used to seeing this little link-up play between goalkeeper Michael Hurd and Nelson Kwan, his right back. It's probably been the most common pass in this game so far, Hurd to Kwan. As we see 3 new introductions to the game for Olympia. We have number 12, Cody Prendergast, entering the game now. Marcus Hastil comes on as well. And finally, we've got Jack Casbolt entering the game.
Some fresh legs.
It's always handy in a game like this where it's back and forth a bit. We can see goal scorer Evan Beach Arnold has left the field of play, but I didn't quite catch the other two. There's just so much back and forth in this game so far that I think Olympia are obviously looking to introduce some fresh legs every opportunity they get. Here is Rutherford. Ball's inside to Yost. And it's the first touch for Jack Casbolt, who looks to find Yost again. Eventually falls to nothing as Hurd comes and picks up the pieces. It's another short ball out, this time to Tilly, who has the option up the line. Lucky not to be intercepted there, but they might find themselves on the attack through Richardson. Unable to get there before the ball crosses the line. Bowen unable to find a teammate, but he gets a second effort at it with the header. Same result. So it looks like Jack Casbolt has come in up front for Olympia in place of Evan Beach Arnold. It's a good foot in. Noah Gardner looks to break down the line, and he just manages to, with some great work from Sam Bosco, manages to win the ball back. And it's Bosco who plays the ball down the line, but it's Ashby who picks up. Ashby looks to spread the ball over the top to Hallam. Here he is with the chance. He's narrowed the angle for himself. And I think Ross just got the touch there to put it wide. Ball stays in play. Into the midfield for South Hobart. They'll look to get another chance. Every time they start to get that ball into the final third, they look for Hallam. And it's working for them so far, just unable to quite find the goal. Ball's turned around the corner, but it's picked up by Bosco, who looks to feed substitute Cody Prendergast, who's coming to the right-hand side for Keon Pavlidis. And here's that chance again. You can see his first touch just brought him a little bit too narrow, but he's done very well to get the shot on target. And it's the legs of James Ross that turns it wide. Ben Tilly again, staying composed at the back to maintain possession for South Hobart. The ball's turned out, but it's picked up by Alex Tween, who looks to bring it inside to Marcus Hastil. And it's James Rutherford who turns the ball back to Duffy. Out for an Olympia throw-in. Well worked in between his two Olympia defenders, and here goes Richardson on the right-hand side. Looks inside to Hallam, but it's well covered by Sam Bosco. He's come across from right back to clean that one up. He's been good so far from right back, Sam Bosco. A couple of times he's saved his side, and here you can see his timely intervention. But it's yet another South Hobart corner. And the delivery's high again onto what was looking to be the head of Ben Tilley, but it's over him. And Ashby's unable to keep the ball in what had the potential to be a good attack down the left-hand side with the overlap from the left back, but comes to nothing. Mosajanis has time to think about his delivery. And it's not quite what was needed at the time, but it falls to Yost. Yost finds Hastil. Hastil spreads play. Back inside to Yost. And you can see once he gets on the ball, South Hobart just converge. They know not to give him time.
It's dangerous, isn't he?
Very dangerous. And South Hobart know that. They've done well to close him out in the last 20 or so minutes after he wreaked havoc in the first 20.
He looks very strong in the core.
Yep, absolutely.
He's been working out at all aerobics at your circuit classes, Dan, has he?
I haven't seen him there, but he's definitely been working out somewhere. He's got a nice low centre of gravity too.
Tracking back, Cody, tracking back.
Here's Jacob King on the throw. Puts it into the feet of Hallam. Gets around the outside of Duffy. The ball in to James Ross. Comfortable. Ross wants to give it to Mosajanis. He eventually does. It's a heavy first touch, but he gets away with it. And here goes the run of Exarakos, who splits the midfield. All of a sudden, it's about 3-on-3 at the back here for Olympia. But it's well defended by Ashby. He manages to be beaten by Cody Prendergast, who delivers. But it comes to nothing. Exarakos picks up the pieces on the edge of the 18-yard box, beats two. And attempts to spread play. The touch from Richardson's actually turned it into a better ball than it was initially going to be. Nelson Kwan takes the ball back out for South Hobart. And Declan Taylor gives away the throw. So it's Olympia again with a throw in on the left-hand side.
The players looking towards half-time here.
Yeah, not long to go. A goal at this time of the half tends to be a bit of a difference maker. If you can go into the break having just taken the lead, it does a lot for your confidence. The spread of play is a good one. Noah Gardner finds himself offside.
Both teams would be feeling pretty good about themselves, don't you think, Dan?
Yeah, from the start of the game, I don't think there's been too much to separate them, and the scoreline reflects it. So I think each team would be happy to come into the break on level terms. Possibly they'd want more goals than one with the chances that they've had, but they won't argue, I don't think.
Come on, Olympia, make a move.
And it's Mosajanis who, again with a long ball, spreads play. Cleaned up well by Mazzone for South Hobart, who brings it inside to Kwan. Ben Tilley with a heavy touch, but I think he thought he had a bit more time than he really did. He's done well though. Ball outside to Richardson, he just gets there first. You can see Hallam inside, and they've got Gardner at the far post. But they're unable to make anything of it. Ball out of touch for another Olympia throw. Hastil calls for it and receives. gives Exarachos something to work with there, and he's unable to get the ball under his spell. Here comes Ashby again from left back, but it's well defended. It was the tracking of right winger Cody Prendergast with his left back. Here's Ashby again, turns it inside. Janis does well, but the ball falls through. Here goes Gardner, he gets his shot away. It's well blocked by Duffy. Ball still in with Richardson, but he sees it out for the corner. Had a couple of corners so far, but they're unable to make anything from them. Let's see if this one can be the difference maker. And you can again look at that corner flag, see that there's a bit of wind in the mix here today. It was a good turn back inside there from Noah Gardner to get his shot away. And it's he who delivers. Oh, Yost, there's yells for handball. Referee says no. Looked to be off the leg, but South Hobart had a yell. The initial touch was good. They looked at the handball there, but nothing given. Ben Tilley back to Hurd. Ashby's free on the left. Hurd eventually chooses to go back to Tilley, who breaks out of centre back. Gives a good ball into Gardner, who gets it back to Tilley. Good battle in the midfield there. Results in nothing as of yet, but it's South Hobart who comes away with the ball. He spreads play to Gardner, who's just started to come alive in these last 10 minutes on the left-hand side. Him and Ashby are linking up well down here, as the spread of play to Richardson is over the top, but he'll keep the ball in. He goes back to his right back, Jake Mazzone, who delivers. He falls just short of his man in the middle, and it's Yost who comes away with it yet again, but South Hobart do just enough. As we cross the 45 there, referee looks at his watch, but decides to keep play going. Possibly a couple of minutes of added time for the goals and the substitutions. Here's Hallam, he's deemed onside as he cuts the ball back inside. The ball to the back stick is floated, but it's over. And that'll be the end of the half. South Hobart tied with Olympia, 1-1 at this stage. Neither side able to take the lead into the half. We saw Olympia score first, only to be pegged back by South Hobart, which is a fair result coming into the break. It's all to play for as we look to enter the second half. Here's Yost again. Looks to make something here as we see our stab shot. It falls through. Oh, straight down the line of the goalkeeper. Darcy Street does tend to have a bit of a dead corner on that far side, so both sides looking to avoid that as best they can.
Come on, Olympia, keep at it.
Some tidy touches on the edge of the box. We've got our first chance here. But James Ross rises to the occasion. Richardson's unable to get the better of him. South Hobart have finally strung some passes together and they've got their first real chance of the game away, but James Ross rose to the occasion and got a good hand. They managed to keep the ball as they break, and it's a great delivery here as it falls for Pavlidis again. He's entered the 18-yard box and he gets his shot away, but it's just wide of the post. Again, crowded out. Plays a brilliant ball through. And James Ross is beaten. What's he got in the middle? Can he find a teammate? James Ross gets back and hits the post. Possession given away in midfield by Pacey Main, but quickly won back by Duffy. And here's Yost on the ball. We've seen his early threat already, and here he is again through on goal. It's the post again, and the follow-up is quickly slotted. He looks around for the offside, nothing's given, and it's a goal for Olympia. And the corner comes short to Exarachos, who loops it into the back post, and it's Beach Arnold, who finds the back of the net for the second time today, but it's ruled off for offside. It was a great delivery here. We can see another look at it here. Oh, God, it must have been close because Ashby's only just coming off the front post there. It was a great header in the end. And the header's well won, but it ends up going backwards.
Come on, Olympia.
Picked up by Yost. Ball coming inside to Exarakos, who looks to break. Finds Beach Arnold, who looks to feed the ball back. He gets a second chance at it though. And it's brought a save out of Michael Hurd. Nelson Kwan comes back to Michael Hurd in goals, who looks to bring it back out the other side through the feet of Ben Tilley. He's put under pressure, but it's a very calm ball back into the midfield as he spreads the ball up to Hallam again, and here he goes breaking down the line, but it's a good foot by Mosajanis, who has managed to be kept in by James Ross, and it's Hallam again who looks to deliver the ball inwards, and he does, and the follow-up is put away by South Hobart. It was a great initial foot in by Mosajanis, and then in order to avoid the corner, James Ross has kept the ball in play, which ended up working in favour of South Hobart. We can see here, he's managed to keep the ball in, but it was picked up by Hallam again, who keeps a cool head in delivering a great ball into the box. The initial effort from Will Richardson. And welcome back for the second half of our under-18s clash, South Hobart versus Olympia FC Warriors. You've just come off the first half highlights and you've seen what brings us into the second half, level terms. Both sides scoring a goal apiece. As you can see, the players getting ready for South Hobart's kickoff. Here we go.
Enjoyed that first half out there?
Great first half of football, very exciting. I'm intrigued to see what unrolls here, because obviously it's all to play for still. And I mean, both sides had the chances to go ahead, but just weren't quite able to make anything of it. So I'll be interested to see what both coaches have said at halftime and how the players react.
Now people are probably wondering who you are, Dan, and of course you're a local player. Are you playing this year?
I am playing this year, just socials, mind you. I've taken a step back from the higher leagues that I was playing at, but.
And I'd imagine that these boys out here today, they're training every week, is what, 2-3 times a week?
Absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me if these boys are training 3 times a week, but at least 2. Definitely. If they're up in the Challenge League as well, then it might well be 3, but. It's a good ball over the top. He's managed to make his way through. This is Hallam, who had an incredible first half. He goes down looking for the penalty, but the referee waves it away. Get another look at it here. He does well to get the ball under his spell, and as he turns the corner, there's a little hint of a trip, but referee says nothing doing. We see James Ross to take the goal kick, also with a very impressive first half.
Well, James is a player that's tried out for state selection, and being a good friend of my own son, young Jack Duffy, and having watched James come up with his football playing, he's always saying, oh yes, I've got training tonight and had it last night and I've got it tomorrow night. So it's a real credit to a player like James to see him progress, and I'm pretty excited to see him out there today, that's for sure. And he's definitely growing on us too, Dan. He's shooting up.
He's been one of my standout players for the first half, so I'd love to see him have a good second half as well. But South Hobart might have something to say about that. A miscommunication in the midfield, and Olympia come away with the ball. They look to break on the counter. They've got the numbers. It's a good battle in the midfield. Henry Hurd manages to come away, and he feeds Hallam. But Jack Duffy, who had a great first half, is back again to clean up. It's been a battle of the centre-backs so far in this game. We had Ben Tilley doing all the work for South Hobart and Jack Duffy doing the work for Olympia.
Go at it, mate. Go at it.
There's that midfield battle again. Leads to a ball over the top for Richardson to run onto. But it's well met by Alex Tween for Olympia. South Hobart throw.
Put the camera up here.
Hallam to Richardson, who looks to feed a ball into the box, but it's a bit heavy.
Cautious opening for both teams.
It was a frantic start to the game, but this second half is a lot more cagey at the moment. I think both teams have been told just to relax a little bit at half-time and to try and take their chances, which we could well have one here. As it's Marcus Hastil who has time to play in Sam Cummins on the left side of the box. He weaves his way inside. He manages to get the shot off. It was Kwan who made the block. He gets a second chance here though, Hastil, as he weaves his way on the left-hand side. Gives the ball back to Alex Tween. And Hastil just doesn't have a lot of options here. You can hear the calls from the crowd to take the ball out the other side, which they look to do, but it's shut down well by South Hobart. Finding himself with a lot of possession here, but they just can't make anything of it. It's Hastil again. He's asking for the foul, but well played by South Hobart, and now they're on the break. Through Casper Hallam, who feeds Will Richardson again, but it's well defended. This is more of the end-to-end football that we came used to in that first half. Is Olympia goal scorer Evan Beach-Arnold picking the ball up on the left-hand side. We saw Olympia doing a lot of their attacking down the right-hand side in the first half, and here we are with them attacking on the left-hand side in the second. It's Exarakos who feeds the ball outside. The shot's away. It's saved, and everybody's slipping over in the middle of the box there. It's Ben Tilley who manages to get the ball away in what was almost a comical turn of events. You can see Exarakos with the original shot. He gives the ball out to the right-hand side, and I think it's Sam Bosco who looks to deliver. And almost on cue, we've had 2 or 3 players slip over at once. Here's Richardson now on the right-hand side, but offside will break down this attack. Mentioned in the first half that the far side of Darcy Street tends to be a heavier side of the ground, and hence we see all the attack on the near side again. I don't think Richardson's too sure about that offside call. He's still talking to our linesman.
What? Somebody coming off here?
Looks to be a substitution. Yeah, stoppage in play. Maybe an injury at the top end. It is an injury. I think it's Ben Tilley from his earlier slip. Looks to have pulled up a little bit sore. See, he's got a limp on that left side.
Strapping lad.
Isn't he? Very tall for his age too. He's got a bit of a jog on, which is always good to see. I'm sure we'll see him back. He's pointing to the knee. But play resumes. One back by South Hobart, who plays into the midfield. It's Richardson on the ball on our right-hand side, but it's 1v4. Oh, he's done well there. Very, very well. That was Hogo Chong who played the ball back inside to Hallam, but they're unable to do anything with it. Still South Hobart on the ball, though, as it's turned over in the midfield. And it's Ashby on the ball. Well defended by Sam Bosco, who plays it out to touch. He's been impressive so far defending that right-hand side for Olympia. Ball's delivered into Richardson, who gets his head on the end of it. Falls to Hallam in the box. He's being hassled by Jack Duffy. He goes to ground, but there's nothing called. There's a shout for a penalty there, and I was almost tempted by it, but the referee wasn't. Miscommunication at the back, and it's Bosco who gives up the ball. The shot's away, it hits the post. But they've managed to clear. Well done by Olympia. Jack Duffy again getting the clearance. And the offside flag brings a stop to the play. Going back to that earlier chance. This is where Ross picks up the ball, and I think he goes to give it out to Bosco, who wasn't quite sure it was coming. Takes a long-range shot, which Ross manages to get a hand to, but it wasn't quite convincing. It ends up being cleared down the left-hand side, and Olympia come away with it. Looks to feed Beach Arnold, who's in a foot race with the goalkeeper, who gets by him. Excellent defending by Nelson Kwan. He's still hassling Beach Arnold, who squares. The shot's away, and it's a goal. Excellent goal by substitute Jonas Rutherford, giving Olympia the lead 2-1. This is more of the game that we saw in the first half, end-to-end chances for both sides. This is brilliant work here from Beach Arnold to get around the keeper. But I don't want to understate the effort there from Nelson Kwan. That was fantastic defensive work. But he can't do it all on his own. It's a good, calm, squared ball and a great finish there. And it's worth noting as well, South Hobart were down to 10 men for that sequence of play, as we see Ben Tilley return to the field. 10 minutes into the second half, and we've broken the deadlock. Olympia FC Warriors 2-1 over South Hobart. Ball's given away into the midfield. Olympia come away with it through Exarachos, who plays the ball out to the right. This is the passing that made Olympia so dangerous in that first half. It ends up with a shot, but Michael Hurd was confident it was going wide. They're confident, Olympia. They've come out of this second half with something to prove. Here's Ben Tilley. Looks to have recovered from the earlier knee injury. Picked up in the midfield by Taylor, who plays out to Ashby. It's a good ball into the box. It's squared for Richardson, who can't quite get there first. And it looked to be a goal, but I think it's gone wide. It must have been a deflection. If that is the case, it's fantastic defending, because James Ross was beaten by all accounts, I think. You can see here the defending by Pacey Main was just a little bit too confident. Didn't realise he had a player on his heels. And then there's the deflection. It was too. Alex Tween, fantastic. Delivery is looking for Richardson again, but James Ross clears up. Still hurt his shoulder there. Doesn't
a bit of trouble, Ross.
Yeah.
May have to come off.
Yeah, it looked to be a bit sore when he rolled that ball out.
This will test his character, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely it will. It'll test his teams if he's not there. And it's a sloppy ball out of the back by Hurd, but the shot, they're not able to capitalise on it, and you can see by the look on his face there, Michael Hurd is disappointed in himself. He's apologising to his centre-back. He had all the time in the world to play the pass. The angle was cut out by Beach Arnold, and it was just a little bit sloppy. But Cody Prendergast had a lot to do still, and he wasn't quite able to find the net. Shouts of handball on Nelson Kwan. Referee says no. It's still Hastil on the ball. And once again, it's with Olympia. Ashby brings it back inside. It's King. Play spread again to Will Richardson, who gets the beating of Alex Tween, delivers the ball across the box. But it's cleared as far as the 18-yard box. It falls back to Richardson's feet, but they're not able to do anything with it. It's a good defensive effort there from from Olympia, mind you. Nelson Kwan's caught out of position here. It's a nasty tackle in the middle of the field, and the referee will call it back. Just clip the ankles. They're a stinger, that one. You can see he's just desperate to win the ball back there. Ouch. It's a nasty one. He seems okay, though. It's a classic striker's tackle.
Jonas.
I'm sure it's not a result of that tackle, but I think we're seeing Evan Beach-Arnold leave the field, and possibly Jonas Rutherford as well.
My man Yost coming back on.
Here he comes. The return of Austin Yost.
I get my favourite players. It doesn't matter what the sport is. Aussie rules, the great game of football. Some players just really stick out.
He's definitely one of them. Yeah, he's a little general in the midfield there.
And I'm not saying that because his dad was a good drummer.
Might have a little bit to do with it.
No, he's a very, very good player. Very strong. How's your fitness and form leading into your season? We won't go on about your game too long.
It's definitely not as good as it could be. Socials don't have the same demand as the Challenge League.
Come on, boys, go!
Ashby looks to take a quick throw, but the only thing on is backwards to Tilly. Across to Kwan. It's well kept in there by the Pavlidis, but unable to make anything of it. Here was another one of the players returning from those substitutes we saw earlier. He was very lively in the opening 20 minutes, but he didn't have a lot showing at the end of the first half. There's another little clip from behind there. South Hobart free kick. They want to take it early. And they do, but not in the direction they intended. Breaks down the left-hand side. The delivery looks good, but James Ross comes to collect, as he did so many times earlier on in this game. And that shoulder seems to be okay from that last throw. Here is Yost. Back to Duffy. He just finds space for himself and his teammates by the looks of the ball. Here goes Prendergast on the right-hand side, who comes in to Casbolt. Weaves his way around the South Hobart defence, but again, there's our man Ben Tilley clearing up at the back for South. It's a good clean turn in the middle by, I believe it's Exarakos, who feeds Yost. Gives the ball out wide to Prendergast, who's got all the time in the world to pick out a teammate, but he can't quite do it. South Hobart had their line perfect there. You can see they didn't let any options through. Kwan got a little bit too close to the keeper, but it was Ashby who got across to cover and throws up to corner. Corner's taken short. They've got a chance to deliver on the corner of the box, but they choose Exarakos at the top. And it comes to nothing. South Hobart now with a chance to break. And they choose the ball over the top to no one in particular. And James Ross, who's very good with his feet, has time to play it out.
Okay, on. Switch with Sam. Just to be on camera. When you can. Just talk to Kate about that overlap.
Ball
into the middle was collected by South Hobart. I think Yost thought his teammate had the taking there, but falls through to James Ross yet again. There's Hallam doing the running up the top. He's a bit more isolated here since the break. Doesn't have the support that he had in the first half. Olympia win it back in the midfield. Clever back heel by Jack Casbolt feeds Yost, who gives the ball out wide to Prendergast. But Michael Hurd quick off his line.
Bosco!
JK, everything over.
Olympia have had the best chance of the half so far, and they took it with that earlier goal to give them the lead. South Hobart have had a couple of sniffs, but they're not able to find anything just yet, as Olympia still with the lead. That one's easily collected by Hurd. They look to break through Richardson, who's come a lot deeper to pick up this one. Kwan, who comes back to Hurd, and they'll recycle it through Ben Tilley on the left. His pass cut out, mind you.
Let's go, South. Pick up the energy. Come on. Drop it over.
They'd love another goal, wouldn't they, Dan?
Absolutely. Some breathing room. South Hobart haven't had a chance for a while, but they only need one. Attempted back heel doesn't quite come off. It's one back by South Hobart. Jacob King breaks through the middle. You can see their front three is just isolated up there against the Olympia back four. Olympia's got the numbers and they are coming away with the ball every time. Well defended by Kwan. Here is Hallam with a chance on goal. Gets the beating of his man. It's a heavy touch to the byline, and there's just no one there to pick up his under-hit cross, but 4 Olympia defenders against 1 South Hobart attacker doesn't often end in South Hobart's favour. Misplaced pass from Exarakos in the midfield. Here's the earlier chance. Very good defending. They take him wide and they're happy for him to have it out there. Confident in their goalkeeper. Tilley looks wide and high. Oh, very clever footwork from Noah Gardner on the right. He sends the ball into the midfield. Small shouts of handball on Bosco, but nothing coming. I was looking for Richardson at the back, and we'll see this again. This is quick feet. And it was Pavlidis who he got with the turn. That's incredibly smooth. And it was a good ball to beat too.
That's not a fluke.
No way, he meant every bit of that. Ball's taken short to the near post. It's a delivery to the back stick, aiming for King, but couldn't quite get his head on it. Could just about watch this all day. Here he goes again, he takes the touch to bring him wide, and it's Pavlidis marking him. Here's the initial touch, and I'll have that one. Excellent work. He'll be pleased to see that on YouTube later. Olympia plays short through Duffy. James Ross has to clean up a little bit from Duffy's back pass. Didn't quite have the pace on it that he intended, but Olympia have another chance here as they break. The shot's taken early by Casbolt, but he's not quite able to find the back of the net. It was rising and it never came back down. You'll see it again. He did have Hastil in the middle if he wanted to square it, but he chose the shot. Just couldn't quite get it to dip under the crossbar. Hastil expected the squaring effort, I think. He was a bit upset that it didn't come. Just trying to do too much in the midfield is Sam Cummins. The ball comes to Hallam for South Hobart on the left.
Come on, let's go.
Inside, but it's Exarakos who cleans up. And it's Yost who looks for the wide ball to the right, but he definitely looked offside, and there goes the flag. See again, he's about 5 yards offside there, and the linesman duly raises the flag. Pavlidis looks to take the ball back up on the right-hand side to Casbolt.
Get in there, Alex.
Looks to put the ball in the box. Unable to find a teammate. Cleared by South Hobart, who have a chance to break again. It's a tidy back heel, who gives the ball to Pacey May. Here's the back heel again. Very nice from Declan Taylor. Tilly across the box to Kwan.
Win that.
Sends it high to Richardson, but he's unable to get his touch under control. He gets another shot at it though. That touch is a better one.
Goal side,
Gives him a chance to run one-on-one at Sam Bosco, who looks to have swapped sides here, so he can keep defending his man Richardson, which he does again here.
Great, Bosco.
He's a bit smaller in stature, Sam Bosco, but he's had Richardson for majority of this game so far. It's a teasing ball across the box, but doesn't quite clear Ben Tilly in the middle. And it's Hallam who looks to do it all himself. Gives the ball out to Gardner, who tries to bring it inside, but there's nobody there for him. He's done really well here, Hallam. Picked the ball up on the halfway line. You can see they just to him like a magnet, but he finds space for Gardner on the left, but he can't quite get the ball into Richardson. Corner's delivered. Ross comes for it, but the header loops onto the crossbar. I think Ross got lost with that one a little bit. He was keen on the ball, but he didn't get there first. Olympia are left to just watch this as it loops onto the bar. Had it ducked under, I don't think anybody made a particular effort to get there. Again, Ross plays short. Here's Pavlidis, now playing at right back after his earlier spell in the first half at right wing. Gives the ball to the opposite number in Ashby. Picked up again by Olympia. Here's Kwan, who looks to play in Richardson, but it's Bosco again. Gives the ball inside to Exarachos.
What's the offside?
Bosco plays well into the striker at the top, but doesn't make anything of it, and it's Kwan who comes away again.
Win that. A little bounce. Again, same.
Well away by Jack Duffy. Neither team too keen to get this one on the deck until Hallam does it for us.
Push him out.
And he plays Richardson. 1v1 versus Bosco again. This time he gets the better of him. Only to turn back inside and try one more time. And Hallam runs out of space.
Play it, James. Play it.
Ball into Yost, who gets the touch. And there's his strong frame. Not only winning the ball, but then sending Henry Hurd the wrong way. And the shot rattles the crossbar. The header comes back in, but it's collected by Michael Hurd. Cody Prendergast had a chance to score after his earlier effort. Floated over the bar, but he's unable to do so. He's getting closer though. Once again, Michael Hurd happy to collect, but here's Hallam at the other end for South Hobart. Shrugs off the high arm of Duffy. The shot is taken well, but saved by James Ross. And he's having a bit of a talking to with Jack Duffy there. Here's the referee. Here's the earlier chance. It was a good strike on goal, but it just had a little bit too much height on it as it rattled the bar. And then here goes Hallam was a great save by Ross down to his left. A reaction save, that one. Didn't quite have enough time to look at it. Off goes Nelson Kwan, and on comes Jacob Mazzone for South Hobart.
Come on.
Excuse me, it's Hogo Chong who's come off. Oh, the header into the midfield, I think from Ben Tilley, just cleared off the line by Sam Bosco, who's about my man of the match so far. Here's the headed effort, it was Tilley, and there's the header wide.
Game's just come up a notch in the last few minutes.
Yeah, hasn't it ever? Both teams are looking for their goal, and they've both had chances at it. Olympia probably had the better of both sides, but they just can't put them away, as was the theme earlier on in the game. Exarachos runs out of legs, and Kwan manages to clean up. Hurd takes a while to get rid of that one, but he does enough to get it back to Kwan. And the attempted ball over the top finds Hallam. It's Pavlidis applying the pressure, it's a good tackle. And he manages to clean up the second effort as well. Great defending there by Pavlidis. Great turn by Yost as well. This could be a great attack here from Olympia should they make something of this. It's Prendergast again with the time. He takes his shot, but it's saved by Hurd in goals for South Hobart. Pavlidis finds himself with time again, squares the ball inside, the shout for handballs waved away. And what was a nervous moment for South Hobart, they've managed to come away with it. But it's Olympia coming back through Bosco. It's Yost now in the middle, turning his man inside out. The attempted ball over the top. The battle of the 14s out there on the left. It's Yost playing inside. Great turn by Casbolt. He can't quite get a shot away.
Relax there, Sam. Relax.
We can see Ken Morton's come down from the stands now. He's standing on the sideline and he's got a lot to say. South Hobart senior coach, of course, at the NPL level. Kwan puts the ball over the top to Hallam. Falls to Richardson.
Back post.
Plays the ball down towards the byline, but he's unable to make anything of it. James Ross goes long just about for the first time this game, I think. Both sides' goalkeepers have looked to play short. Ross brings it back inside to collect. 15 minutes to go in the second half of our pre-season final. Ball comes back inside. It's Exarachos who does the job for Olympia, but it's a sloppy ball out to the left. And South Hobart have a chance to build something here. Ken Morton giving something for the crowd. Ball inside to Hallam. A foul called on the South Hobart man. And they'll have a chance to deliver into the box here now. Out comes the magic spray.
Ken's never short of a word.
He's always got something to say.
You need these great icons in the local game, don't you?
Absolutely. He's a name that's been around for a long time, and I'm sure it'll be around for a long time more.
What's your preferred stance at this moment as a defender?
Or
back to it?
I don't often find myself there. I try and get out of the way, but they've done well there. They've done enough to send the ball wide. Yeah, I don't put myself in the line of fire very often if I can help it. Straight from the training ground by South Hobart, you saw two Olympia players break off the wall following the faked shot by Richardson, but it didn't quite work out as the delivery wasn't good enough. Here's Yost in the midfield. Well won back by Hurd. Oh, the second effort not so good. Skipped past him did Hastill, who takes the early shot. It's just gone wide. I think he had Michael Hurd in South Hobart goals a lot more nervous than he expected to be. It was a rash effort, that challenge, but then he's a long way out when he takes this shot on. It just floats wide. More substitutes for Olympia. On comes Alex Tween and Kobe Mosagianis, both defenders. Mosagianis is straight into the action. Here's Jacob King. And it's Taylor who attempts the dinked ball, but it's Mosagianis again who wins himself the throw.
Push on, Alex.
Ashby gets the ball on the right. Sends it back into his keeper, Michael Hurd, who looks to go long. South Hobart have had a bit of a spell of possession here now. Haven't quite managed to make anything of it though, mind you. Ashby again takes it inside to Taylor. All over the top for Gardner. We saw an incredible piece of skill from him in this position not moments ago, but he doesn't choose to do the same this time. It's Ashby inside who loses possession to Olympia's midfield. And now Sam Cummins has a chance to deliver a ball into the box. It's a very deep delivery. It's Marcus Hastill. Manages to do enough to get it back to Exarakos, who delivers back stick looking for Cummins. Falls to Pavlidis, who turns inside, takes a tame shot, floats to the back post. Hastill was almost able to get on the end of that. It may have even been a cross from Pavlidis, but either way it was too heavy. In a second half full of action, we've only got 10 minutes to go. Olympia still with the lead. Hurd on the ball. Back to Kwan, who goes down the line to Mazzone. Richardson looks to play in Hallam, but Duffy has the height advantage. It's Hallam who gets on the end of the pass, and he does Duffy very, very well as he turns into the middle. The shot is away and high. He calls for a foul. He might have felt some contact, but referee says nothing. It was a great little ball in behind by Taylor. And then Hallam does just enough to get past Duffy. The ball back into Taylor and it's over the bar. If South Hobart don't manage to score a goal here, they'll be ruining their missed opportunities because they've had plenty. Pavlidis manages to spread play. Ball back inside to Pavlidis, who looks to have joined the attack rather than back line. It's Yost who gets his shot away. He might have a second bite at this. Duffy gives it back to Yost, who gives it back to Duffy. A little bit too cute from Olympia. South Hobart now with a chance to break.
Don't let it bounce.
Good touch from Gardner. Wants to get the ball out to Hallam. Gets the ball inside. If he has a chance to get this away, it could be interesting. He squares, but Ross rises to the occasion. It's over the bar again by Taylor.
Hallam's been dangerous.
Very. Been really impressed with him. You can see even then he's got 4 players around him and he manages to hold onto the ball long enough to do something with it. Taylor just needs a bit more composure in those situations to get the ball under the bar. Here's Mossagianis for Olympia. Sends his trademark ball up the line. Pavlidis on the right. Centres it to Exarakos. It's a clever pass. He has a chance to shoot, but he's a long way out. Doesn't quite have the chance to get the contact on the ball. Heard what's his players higher. Yost turns his defender inside out with a clever step over. He looks to come inside and he wants the return ball. He gets it. The shot is extremely poor. Could have maybe found something at the back post there if he put his laces through it, but he's not quite able to do so.
He's had such a great game.
He has had an incredibly great game, and he's got another chance to make up for it here, but the pass is a bit stray. Don't let that take away from his performance so far, though. I think come the 90 minutes, we'll still be saying he's been one of the best. Tilly sends a high ball to the right, but it's Bosco again who cleans up ahead of Richardson. Yost in the middle looking to make something happen. Kwan comes away and tries to spread play, but Gardner's not quite that wide. Tween's happy to see it out. Here's the earlier chance. It was a great return ball, perhaps a little bit wide, and then couldn't quite get the ball onto his preferred right foot for the shot. Pavlidis done well to weave inside. Yost could have had that a lot earlier there if the ball was released, but he hesitated a little bit.
What do you make of Pavlidis' game today?
Very impressive in the first 20 minutes. Then he faded out a little bit. He's been really good since he's come on here, though. He was the unfortunate victim from Gardner's little bit of skill on the top end, but I think second half he's been more good than he has bad. And he's fed a great ball in here to Jack Casbolt, but I think the offside flag might have been raised prior.
Shake it up. Come on, get the game. There, boss. Where did boss go?
It was clever, but it did look offside. Manages to spin and stay in play for Ashby.
Keep the pressure up.
Can't pass from Taylor, finds Ashby.
Bosco, check your shoulder.
And it's Hallam who gets to the ball ahead of Jack Duffy again. He'll want to come inside here. Doesn't have too much on the out. He finds Gardner at the edge of the box. And Cummins has a chance to run with the ball. Chooses to give it off instead to Pavlidis. Does a little bit too much.
In the middle! In the middle!
Excellent work in the midfield there by Cummins, wins the ball back. Yost puts his body into it. It's a little clip. Just doesn't quite have the options in the end. Looked like it could come to something, that chance, but you see time and time again just how good Yost is at using his body in the middle there. Get another chance to have a look at it here. It was an excellent job to make up the ground initially by Cummins, and then as he gives the ball off to Yost here, you can see he's done really well to use his body there and keep it. Could have been a foul there, I think, but not called. Exarakos gets the ball away out wide to Pavlidis, who turns inside to Cummins. He gets the return ball, and all of a sudden finds himself with a lot of space on the right. The ball delivered. Nelson Kwan does enough to keep the ball away from the goals, and it's out for a corner.
Come on, Duff, let's go!
Guys, push.
JT! Alex, let's go.
Wait for it to come out.
Tall timber of Jack Duffy comes up from the back for this corner. Ball's delivered, and it looks to be finding his head, but it's away. The clearance doesn't quite get far enough. It pinballs on the edge of the 18. Good calm play from Jacob King by South Hobart to keep possession and settle things down. It's Tilly at the back who spreads out to the right. Yet again, it's Sam Bosco doing enough. Gardner and Richardson swap sides here for South Hobart, so it's now Gardner in the battle with Bosco. Richardson didn't have too much luck out there.
Not long to go here, Dan. 88.5 minutes gone.
Into the final couple of minutes.
Snuck up on us here.
Didn't it ever? Time flies when you've got a game as entertaining as this. Still get the feeling there might be another goal or so in it, but we'll have to find out. Yost looked to turn well, but the defensive team of Jacob King and Henry Hurd manages to crowd him out. Exarakos in the middle. Finds Mostagianis. Spreads play to the left. It's a good ball to Pavlidis, who finds Yost. Again, using his body to turn inside. Gets the ball back to Pavlidis. He gets a stab shot away, but it's well collected by Michael Hurd. And Ashby's away on the left. Can't find out a teammate. Alex Tween comes inside to Exarakos. And throw-in's the call.
Bosco, it's yours. It's here. Bosco, up here.
Throw down the line attempted for Pavlidis, but it was 2-on-1 in favour of South. Bosco comes up to have another go at the throw. Exarakos gives it to Yost in space. He gets his shot away, but it keeps on rising. And it's over the fence. I was expecting that to shape up perfectly from Yost. I thought he might curl that one into the back corner, but didn't quite find it. Might have been interesting had he found those windows at the back there, though.
Good try. Come on, Olympia. Keep at him.
Ashby comes inside to Taylor. Puts the ball over the top to Gardner, who lets it settle. He possibly should have got a touch on that earlier. Gardner with the turn, but Bosco has gone down there. That could have been really nasty for Bosco. His knee seemed to twist out from underneath him. They're asking for the ball to be played out, but South Hobart have no requirement to do so. Olympia choose to, however. And he's called an end to the game there. So Olympia FC Warriors coming away 2-1 victors over South Hobart in what can only be explained as a very entertaining game. Both sides had the chances, but it was Olympia who took theirs. So we get another look at the nasty little collapse of the knee there from Sam Bosco at the close.
Thank you, Dan.
Not a problem. Always happy.
Let's hope he's okay for next week's game.
Fingers crossed. It looked like a sore one.
Thanks, Dan. It's been a great afternoon. Thanks to Martin Tilley for getting us along today.
Absolutely.
And we wish both clubs, or both teams, all the best for 2019.
Indeed, thank you for you, Duff, on the camera. Couldn't have happened without you. Here's Yost again. Looks to make something here as we see our stab shot. It falls through. Oh, straight down the line of the goalkeeper. Darcy Street does tend to have a bit of a dead corner on that far side, so both sides looking to avoid that as best they can.
Come on, Olympia, keep at it.
Some tidy touches on the edge of the box. And we've got our first chance here. But James Ross rises to the occasion. Richardson's unable to get the better of him. South Hobart have finally strung some passes together and they've got their first real chance of the game away, but James Ross rose to the occasion and got a good hand. They managed to keep the ball as they break, and it's a great delivery here as it falls to Pavlidis again. He's entered the 18-yard box and he gets his shot away, but it's just wide of the post. Again, crowded out. Plays a brilliant ball through And James Ross is beaten. What's he got in the middle? Can he find a teammate? James Ross gets back and hits the post. Possession given away in midfield by Pacey Main, but quickly won back by Duffy. And here's Yost on the ball. We've seen his early threat already, and here he is again through on goal. It's the post again, and the follow-up is quickly slotted. He looks around for the offside, nothing's given, and it's a goal for Olympia. And the corner comes short to Exarachos, who loops it into the back post, and it's Beach Arnold, who finds the back of the net for the second time today, but it's ruled off for offside. It was a great delivery here. We can see another look at it here. Oh, and it must have been close because Ashby's only just coming off the front post there. It was a great header in the end. And the header's well won, but it ends up going backwards. Picked up by Yost. Ball comes inside to Exarachos, who looks to break. Finds Beach Arnold, who looks to feed the ball back. He gets a second chance at it though. And it's brought a save out of Michael Hurd. Nelson Kwan comes back to Michael Hurd in goals, who looks to bring it back out the other side through the feet of Ben Tilley. He's put under pressure, but it's a very calm ball back into the midfield as he spreads the ball up to Hallam again, and here he goes breaking down the line, but it's a good foot by Mosajanis, who has managed to be kept in by James Ross, and it's Hallam again who looks to deliver the ball inwards, and he does. And the follow-up is put away by South Hobart. It was a great initial foot-in by Mosajanis, and then in order to avoid the corner, James Ross has kept the ball in play, which ended up working in favour of South Hobart. We can see here, he's managed to keep the ball in, but it was picked up by Hallam again, who keeps a cool head in delivering a great ball into the box. The initial effort from Will Richardson. He goes to ground, but there's nothing called. There's a shout for a penalty there, and I was almost tempted by it, but the referee wasn't. Miscommunication at the back, and it's Bosco who gives up the ball. The shot's away, it hits the post, but they've managed to clear. Well done by Olympia. Jack Duffy again getting the clearance. Takes a long-range shot, which Ross manages to get a hand to, but it wasn't quite convincing. It ends up being cleared down the left-hand side, and Olympia come away with it. Looks to feed Beach Arnold, who's in a foot race with the goalkeeper, who gets by him. Excellent defending by Nelson Kwan. He's still hassling Beach Arnold, who squares. The shot's away, and it's a goal. Excellent goal by substitute Jonas Rutherford, giving Olympia the lead 2-1. This is more of the game that we saw in the first half, end-to-end chances for both sides. This is brilliant work here from Beach Arnold to get around the keeper. But I don't want to understate the effort there from Nelson Kwan. That was fantastic defensive work. But he can't do it all on his own. It's a good, calm, squared ball and a great finish there. Tilley looks wide and high. Oh, very clever footwork. Ball into Yost, who gets the touch. And there's his strong frame. Not only winning the ball, but then sending Henry Hurd the wrong way. And the shot rattles the crossbar. The header comes back in, but it's collected by Michael Hurd. Cody Prendergast had a chance to score after his earlier effort. Floated over the bar, but he's unable to do so. He's getting closer though. Once again, Michael Hurd happy to collect, but here's Hallam at the other end for South Hobart. Shrugs off the high arm of Duffy. The shot is taken well, but saved by James Ross. And the attempted ball over the top finds Hallam. It's Pavlidis applying the pressure. It's a good tackle. And he manages to clean up the second effort as well. Great defending there by Pavlidis. Great turn by Yost as well. This could be a great attack here from Olympia should they make something of this. It's Prendergast again with the time. He takes his shot, but it's saved by Hurd in goals for South Hobart. Pavlidis finds himself with time again, squares the ball inside, the shout for handballs waved away. And what was a nervous moment for South Hobart, they've managed to come away with it. But it's Olympia coming back through Bosco. Yost now in the middle, turning his man inside out. You saw 2 Olympia players break off the wall following the faked shot by Richardson, but it didn't quite work out as the delivery wasn't good enough. Here's Yost in the midfield. Well won back by Hurd. Oh, the second effort not so good. Skipped past him did Hastill, who takes the early shot. It's just gone wide. He gives it back to Yost, who gives it back to Duffy. A little bit too cute from Olympia. South Hobart now with a chance to break.
Don't let it bounce.
Good touch from Gardner. Wants to get the ball out to Hallam. Gets the ball inside. If he has a chance to get this away, it could be interesting. He squares, but Ross rises to the occasion. It's over the bar again by Taylor. And he's called an end to the game there. So Olympia FC Warriors coming away 2-1 victors over South Hobart in what can only be explained as a very entertaining game. Both sides had the chances, but it was Olympia who took theirs. So we get another look at the nasty little collapse of the knee there from Sam Bosco at the close.
Thank you, Dan.
Not a problem. Always happy.
Let's hope he's okay for next week's game.
Fingers crossed. It looked like a sore one.